Hey there, fellow Niteowls. This is Anna Richardson, artist and founder of Middnite Designs. I just want to welcome you to this video. And if it's your first time being here, and if you enjoyed the content, please make sure to hit the like button. I know I promised tutorials, so today I'll be happily breaking down my first real one. How to draw black features, and for other characters of color. This is the first one of many breakdowns, but in this video, I'll be working with the bust and show how I draw different features for characters of colors, starting with different eyes, nose, mouths, and lips. So let's get cracking. I'm so excited. So to start this video off, I just want to preface it with that I'll be working on features only in this video. I want to create a lot more other ones later on, like I mentioned, but for this first set, I thought it'd be good to just do this a bite at a time. So next tutorial will probably be hair type and styles, and then maybe skin tones afterwards, depending on whatever order you all pick. I plan on in the future doing the fundamentals of character design, such as how to use shapes, line of action, anatomy, and gesture pose studies, plus many other things, color theory, whatever have you. These are all things I had to pick up out of order in my quest to better myself as a creator, but I want to compile them all for you guys in the future, so you don't have to do what I did and find Frankenstein tutorials. This video and the next video will tackle pain points of other creators like me, creating characters of color and how to. So let's get started for real. As you can see, I have pre-made bodies available. To be honest, I originally drew them for the first video, but I ended up getting a bad take the first and second and third time. So this is the fourth and hopefully the best. Since the focus is features anyway, I'll just say that I made 4 different body types for masculine presenting and feminine presenting characters. I've even given them names, yay! Let's get started with Pete. So with Pete, I have a masculine presenting character with muscles, and we can start off with some basic ideas for his character. Going to say that, as you can see, there's a slight shadow here. I'm going to show you how I came up with those expressions. So for the nose, let's start with the mouth. Even though nose is center, let's do nose. So I'm going to start off with the bridge of his nose. It's a line going down like that. And then I want to create that under his nose. Now he has a wide, long, you could say strong nose. If you want to do a shadow line here, just kind of show just how wide, how far out his nose goes as far as giving it like a depth, which is very important. You know, you don't want to just kind of only work with just the scat lines that you have. That's pretty much with his nose. I can even add this secondary line here just to show how wide out it goes, so that when you go to color it, you kind of know that. You can bring the nostrils up some, bring that bowl shape. But for now, we're just going to give him a line and these little squiggles in. That's Pete's nose. His eyebrow is connected to his nose, so it gives him a furrowed, slightly jutting brow. And you'll get that with some characters at times if you want them to look gruff or mean or tough. So, you know, if that's an idea I want to go for Pete, we could totally do that. He doesn't have to be the strongman type in his features. You can give him softer features too. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going with strong features. So I've done his nose, and let's say, let's move on to the next person's nose. So this character I've named Lawrence. Lawrence is young. I've given him the thin body type. So I'm going to play around with his facial features. I said that he's young, he's thin, so I'm going to use, for his nose, I use a circle shape. For Pete's nose, you can see it's a triangle. And shapes are extremely important. That's why I want to do a video on shapes after this, or sometime in the near future. For Lawrence, I'm going to use a circle. And you can do a egg, like a oval, I should say, sideways oval. And taking that shape, once you get it the way you want it, I'm going to do like a little moon slice here. And I'm going to do it at the bottom where his nostrils are, there and there. And then all I will have to do if I want to is erase these lines, erase the line here and here, and bam, that's his nose. It's slightly buttoned. You can actually, if you want to, put the line back. You can even color in the nostrils if that's what you want to do with it. I add an extra shape there just to give it, once again, a bit more depth. And his bridge, he's got a bridge, but it's not like Pete's, where Pete's was like this. You can do that. You can also bring it in to indicate that he has a withdrawn bridge. It's smaller. You don't have to draw it at all. You could honestly just stick with these shapes. And that is Lawrence's nose using an oval. So let's move on to Frankie. So I gave Frankie the plus size body, and with Frankie, I wanted, well, I mean, to be honest, I have no real, when I came with these characters, I had no real visualization of what I was doing before I did it. So I just kind of decided that Frankie is going to have some slender and some funky S-line nose. So when I say funky S-line is that. It goes like this. I guess it's not a real S, but it has this swiggle shape where, oh, it's like a vase or a vase, however you want to say it, right on the side of it. And you can even imitate it on the other side just to get a feel of what kind of nose he has. So yeah, I tend to, when I'm creating the nostrils on the side, I tend to connect it like that. That way you can see, oh, this is where I want this line to be. This is where I want that line to be. And then I erase it. Now, this is for digital artists, obviously. Traditional artists, you guys can definitely pick up from this. I would recommend some great YouTubers as well, because you guys don't have Control Alt Delete like I do. You know, and I'll say that I'm happy that I transitioned to digital because I make a lot of mistakes. And mistakes are great. If you're going to make them, I've created a lot of fun drawings with mistakes, but mistakes are also frustrating. So thank you, the digital age. But at the same time, I still draw traditional from time to time because it's a skill that I do want to keep up. And don't mistake it, it's two different skills. So you can kind of see now that I've created a slight, what would you say, like a rounded, like a somewhat of a rounded triangle. It's definitely triangular in shape. But this hump right here gives me a nice, like a little button for the nose right there. Super cute. Button nose. But yes, that is Frankie's. And you can, right here, I can just keep the line. I can erase that. I can just keep it straight. I can even make it look like that, like it's maybe like twisted or a little bit. However, I think that the little, that at the top is a nice accent because it leads to his eyebrows. You'll see in my, just to go back, you'll see in my sketch, I've created a visor. This visor is extremely important. We used to do this, where we'd have the line coming down, as you see right there, and then the line going across, and that helped. But over the years, another artist that I will search for and make sure to shout out in the comments came up with, because I don't know who came up with it, I just learned it from an artist who learned it from an artist, came up with this visor where it makes perfect sense. The tip of the nose is here, this is where the eye parts go, eyebrows go about up here, right on that line above it. You know, the higher you go from it. This is just for your standard face. So when you do expressions, it's going to be different, you know. But I thought that was incredible, and so I did the visor for my sketches. In another video, I will show you how to use that in more depth. So, let's move on to Calvin. Calvin, I kind of ended up giving him a, let's see, preset, average. It really depends on what average is in what part of the world you are, you know. So I guess he has a basic build. Let's call him basic. So basic Calvin. I wanted to give him strong yet charming features. So, or so, maybe. Who knows? I'm going to give him the strong bridge. I can make it stronger by making it straighter. However, I'm giving it a slight dip. A little bit. Just a bit. Because what I want the bottom of the nose to do, not too different than what I did with Frankie, is have this little shape at the end. I can even do the S shape if I wanted. I'm going to make it like Pete's, where I had it cut that way. And then again, I'm going to do the squiggle just to kind of establish where the nostrils are. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. It always takes practice. If you have to rewatch this video over and over again in order to like just do that with the nose, then do it, because it took me a very long time. See, I can't even make it even every time. It took me a very long time to kind of draw these features. And no one taught them to me, to be honest. I'm sure there's books on it now that exist. I want to say 20 years ago, though, it was really hard to come across books that had black features or how to draw them. Everything was like, you know, how to draw anime mouths. Ooh, so kawaii. And then it's like, oh, you want to draw sexy lips for your sexy anime girls? And it's just like, here's your, you know, draw the line. And then, ooh, so hot, you know. There's a lot of books like that out there still. But there wasn't any that I could find that gave me how to draw noses for characters of color, for black features. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to go ahead and erase this line here because I want to add a little bit of style. I can keep that line there, but what if I instead just focus on the nostrils on the side? You don't have to, by any means, draw the nostrils showing as much. You can honestly just make it like that. If you want to, you can just do that for a line, or you can even just draw a dot. It's completely up to you and what style you want. This is a very important part of it. Style. Because I'm not doing this based off of, honest, as you can tell, anatomy, real life anatomy. I'm doing this based off of my style. So I'm going to try to hope you guys work this backwards and you're able to get information from this in my style and then learn how to put it towards yours. But I call these macaronis, the side of the nostrils. You can do that. And yeah, you see how his nose comes just about where the visor is at? You know, I can move it up or down too. That's also a great thing, is the transform tool. Love it. So that is Calvin. Let's move on to the next row. And these are for my feminine presenting characters. This is Pearl. I decided that Pearl is, you know, I have copy paste the muscular body type and thin body type, plus size and basic, you know, whatever have you. So Pearl, I wanted to give her softer features. The idea that muscular women have to look tough, or the idea that muscular people have to look mean and tough or have tough personalities, silly to me. So I like to play with tropes and twist them and, you know, have fun. So with Pearl, there we go, I'm going to show you how I did her nose. Pearl's nose is interesting because I decided to do 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle. This is a way you can do it where you erase the lines that connect them. See, I'm erasing the top line there just a bit. I'm erasing this top line. I'm keeping this line. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to kind of like, my hand is here, and I can see this side. I can't see over here, so, you know, if you want to, you can honestly erase this side and kind of just keep going from there and keep this side. It's completely up to you. However, I'm going with what I'm comfortable with, and that is important to me, and I want that to be important to you. Draw what you're comfortable with. And I erase those lines. I am keeping this half circle thing here, and I'm going to erase the bottom just slightly. That way I can have more room to kind of play with the nostrils. So fix that, add that there. And there, it's pretty much your nose. You can actually go in and, if you want to, add another circle here. You can add the indent of where her nostril would be, bridge would be there. That's if you want to. I'm gonna just I kind of tend to do this, and bam, a nose. You know, you can even add the line up here going down, do this. You can even bring the nostrils up if you want to show them more. It kind of gives you upturned nose. So once again, that's just up to your discretion. But yeah, circle, 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 and erase lines. Nose. This isn't a process that has to take forever either. When you're drawing and you do it more, especially when you're doing different comics or animations even, you can get this done so quick. I don't have to do that circle process every time. For me, because I've done it so much, I could just get it there, you know, if I want to add in more detail. But if I'm like trying to move quickly and I have several more frames to do, or, you know, I have to draw this character several more times, I break down what's the easiest things for me to remember. Half circle, squiggle, squiggle. Or let's say for Pete up here, you know, I don't have to start off with circle shape like I did there. I can just do line, and then, you know, I would make it look much better. You don't really want to rush art. You never should really. But, you know, if you're working on a project, you've drawn this several times, more times you get better at, the faster you can do it, and the better you can do it. So let's work on Layla. So Layla is the thin body type, and I didn't make her nose all too much different than Pearl's, but I did because I decided to make, instead of having the circle like this, oh, now I can't, there we go, like that, or doing it like I did by Lawrence up here. I instead made it more of an egg shape, and I do it here, and I do it here. Looks a little gross. Looks kind of cool. So from there, I'm going to, again, it's your personal preference, erase this line, and then I'm going to erase that line, this line, and this line. And I'm going to erase that one too. I'm actually going to erase it down here because I just want this, and then this, and that. There you go. You can polish it up. You can add that there. You can do the little bridge for her too. Yeah, little clumped up executes. And just create a nose. You can even add that little is it called a cleft indent? I call it an indent. I can even darken the nostrils. Yeah, Layla's nose. Like I said again, it is oval, and then tilting oval, erase whatever lines you want to erase that you feel comfortable with erasing, and then just go in at that and that. There you go. And depending on how wide, how large, how long you make them, you change the nose size. It's also a thing. I'm not doing every single nose type here. I'm just doing 8, just to kind of show you, because from these 8, honestly, you're gonna see a bunch of repeating stuff. Here's a different one though. Let's say you don't want to put all the details, all the lines in the nose. You just want something simple. So I would say create your circle, erase, well, keep that, erase, and then keep this. Add that and that. You can do that. I did a little differently here where my circle's wider. And like I said, it's just playing with shapes at different places and different sizes. And I'm going to erase this. Add the nostril. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That way, I want to give her a little mousy nose. There you go. Oh, it's a little uneven. Oh, it's going to bother me forever now. Well, and this time I want to add a bridge. I have a little circle here. That's where the light shines from the nose. So you can do that and keep that there. It's up to your discretion. Simple. Mousy nose. Fun. And like I said again, it's circle, erase, erase, erase. I tend to taper. Using the G pen currently on Clip Studio. I really like the G pen. I should have told you what I was using. And then you just kind of create the nostrils. And then if you want to, like I do, taper at the end. Get a little nose keys. So. Now we have CC. CC is the basic body type. And I wanted to give her the long, like a bridge, like a good L-shaped bridge. I'm going to follow the triangle design for her. But this time I'm going to erase where the bridge is, just to give it a slight softening. When you have a lot of hard lines, you're creating a more harder, sterner looking character. But if you have gaps in those lines, I've learned, you kind of create something softer looking. And I don't want to equate hard with masculine and soft with feminine. I know that in society, people put those two together and that's how they view things. I personally have always contradicted societal norms. So I would just say that there is a softening to the character that's created. And you can give that to, honestly, you could give that to a masculine presenting character and it still looks good. It still looks like a nose. That's the important thing. So it's just like, do know that the artwork that you create will be perceived by others and they will translate it and spit it out in their own personal way, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, for me, I like to say just a softening or hardening of features depending on the type of personality also. That's basically the main mover for me. What kind of personality do I want my character's features to look like? I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I have the ability to create characters, and I like to create characters that either have contradicting looks depending on their personality, or having their personality be key indicators of their looks. It's really back and forth for me. You gotta kind of get used to that after a while. So I'm gonna erase this line, and I'm gonna erase this line, and I'm gonna erase this line. And I'm just gonna leave it there, just a smidge. Put this here, and and that is CC's nose. I like having, even though I made it soft here, contradicting with another hard corner. And, if you want to shadow it a little bit, I mean, honestly, you don't have to. That'll be another video for another time. So, with that, we have noses. Let's move on to the next part. Eyes. Let's go to eyes. All right, so let's get to eyes. Beat's eyes are already kind of here. I want to give him long eyes that, like I said, I mentioned with the brow. I want his brow to come forward. So I'm going to kind of draw the line from the nose, the top bridge of the nose. As you can see, I also have the visor for him here. So that's a nice place to start. I'm going to do that there. And then if you want to, you can make that line follow across this way. And then erase just right there. You can even have like a little indent coming down if you really want to accentuate it. If you don't, you can just have it like that. So I normally start with a nice thick line. My style tends to have very, as you can kind of see, bold lines. I normally polish it up a little better, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just using, I'm not gonna do too much like erasing behind myself. I'm gonna try not to. Trying. So once I have my top bold line, I made them bold because I want them to still, I like giving my characters eyelashes. So you'll see at the ends, it kind of tapers. There's these lines here. You don't have to do that. You can just make them as like this, or you can even just do kind of like that. I like mine to show for my character because guys and gals and gentle dems have eyelashes. And then I'm just gonna kind of erase the line there just to kind of give it a cut. It's a style thing, it's style. From there, I'm going to start from the end of the eye and then just sweep down like that. Sweep down like that. They might come off a little uneven. I want this eye to be more like that one where it's like it comes in and you get like a slight box shape. I don't make it connect all the way because I want to, well, like I said, there's some things where it looks better if you just kind of leave, if you don't just do a hard line all the way through. You'll notice that it's a little bit easier to manage your lines when you don't have them connected and create these overlapping gaps, and that's gonna bother me forever. Because then you get like this, and it gets all, there I go, fixing my stuff. Okay, leave it alone, leave it alone. So from there, I'm gonna bring down here and here. I can bring it down here if I wanted to. I can have it come down like this, that's the style. I can have it model the slant. Do know that it's gonna go into his nose, and then you can also do this with the nose, and that, it makes perfect sense. You can even have it where this is where the eyes go, so it's like you can create the shadow right there. It's totally up to you. I like to just know that one thing you can do, once again because it's digital, is make a copy of the eye, kind of put it between here, and if they're too close, like you don't like the way this looks when like I have this slightly here, like yeah, I can have this line touch here and that line touch here. Kind of lets me know that my eye is uneven, but whatever. You want to be able to fit an eyeball between here. If they're too close and it looks like it's too close like this, spread them out. So I'm going to do that with his eye. I'm going to spread it out and then make a copy and then see how it looks. And I can say honestly, I like it. This is fine. This is an okay distance for me. Just make sure that you check every now and then how close are these eyeballs, because then, I mean, that is a style. That is a feature. That's a feature. That's a physical facial feature that you can give a character if you want to. I'm going to say for the sake of it that I'm going to keep them spaced with one eye apart. I'm going to erase this, even though I said this connects to this. So it'd be like that, and this to that to this. And I'm just going to thicken that line here. So I'm going to have this come forward, and you could add, like, you can do like a little squiggle for the corner of the eye if you want to. Don't have to at all. So another thing with eyes is that the iris, the eyeball, doesn't normally sit right here. That's not how it works. Usually it's covered by the top lid and it touches the bottom lid. I also do, I'll do a line in the corner. It's a signifier of age sometimes. Sometimes I want to put lashes there, and yes, I give them to guy and gal. Everyone has lashes. Some lashes are more prominent and more showing than others. You don't have to add the detail. That is a detail. But like I said with the iris, you know, it normally looks here, and even depending on whatever size you go for, I don't want to erase this. This looks nice. I'm gonna grab this eyeball. I'm gonna move it here. Sorry, guys. Just say you want to do a size like that, where you want to make the eyeball like that. So put it here, or put it even like that. You see how that looks versus drawing like this? And you can create a character like that. You know, you're more than likely creating a frantic, always alert character. When you make a character like this, you know, you're making a character that kind of looks like doesn't trust your words, that you're deceptive. When you make a character, you can even have it where like it's coming down like that. I'm doing the pupil all black. You don't have to do a pupil. You could just do like, that or something. Or for those who still, you know, if you want to do it that way. But, you know, you kind of create a sleepy-eyed look doing that. So just depending on how you want the eyes to be. Just make sure that it's not a perfect circle, because that means that the person's eye is extremely awake and alert. Oops, okay. Well, that's a thing. So I draw the pupil. It can be whatever size you want it to be. You can even make the pupil this big, super dilated. I normally make them like that. You can even make them just dot, dot. It's honestly, that part is up to you. Your preference, your style. And then I'll take the color white. And I'll do this on the color layer, but I don't mind doing it here. I'll add a little dot there. I might even add like a fleck here, a fleck here. Do know that wherever you put the eye at, also, if you want to like be more conscious of it, that's another thing. Lighting. I can do a video on that. I'm still a baby on it, I say. But I can say that if you're going to do the whites of the dot in the eye for the light, it's going to follow wherever the light source is. So you're not going to really get like this and this. You can if the light source is like here, but it kind of it looks a little off. So I tend to put them to the side, and usually on the same side like that, because the light source comes this way, I guess. So yeah, there's eyes. And just like a little peek into eyebrows, I want to give him, like I said, I wanted to give him a furrowed brow. So I'm going to use the corner that I have right here to kind of like build off of. And you can honestly, if you want to do all these lines just to show that he has like bushy brows, and then you can have it connect at the top. You can honestly just spike the whole way. I like to do like a slight arch. You don't have to. You can do like a couple of them, you know, just to get like a very bushy look. And then just, there we go. Kind of like that, if you want to do that. I tend to do the line though. I like them. They add definition, personality. So I'll even take like a little cut off at the end like that. So yeah, not perfect, but this is not meant to be perfect. Meant to be a demonstration. Let's move on to Lawrence's eyes. So I give Lawrence, as I said, he's young, wide eyes. And I went for an almond shape. And I'm going to show here how I did that. Pretty much, you can follow. It's not really too different than the general shape of someone's eye, you know. You can actually expect someone's eye to be like that, you know. I didn't want to connect the lines, though. So what I did was I erased some of these. I'll go back steps. And I'll go with creating a line like that comes forward. And like I said, I usually thicken the line because eyelashes. And around the ends, you can sharpen them if you want to. It gives your character, like I said, hard lines give your character sharper looks. And also thin lines. Line weight has value and adds it to your character. So, up, and I dropped my pen. No, okay, caught my pen. Haha. So, I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to do the line underneath. I can make it connect here. It starts to look like a real eyeball. So, I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm going to do a circle for his eyes. Like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring this line in just a smidge and widen the top line. It's a bit different than what I did in the original one, so that's totally fine. I'm gonna smooth the edges here just a bit, give it a youthfulness. Hardened lines also add to age. So if you want your character to seem older than they are, you can totally add jagged lines. If you want to make a character look youthful, younger, you can also add. You can just round it like that, and then like that. It's a very interesting thing how we use these signifiers for us for age and maybe personality, and it's all just lines. It still blows my mind every day. These are honestly just lines. So let's get back to doing his other eye. I'm gonna add the pupil here. I'm gonna make it a kind of. I'm gonna make that bigger, and I'm at a second one. Oops. I want to do the lighting that way. I'm gonna try to make it look less globby because I did kind of glob it on there. Yeah, just there and here. I can even, if I wanted to, give him this, but those are extra details, and I didn't do that for him specifically the first time around. So there you go. Don't worry about erasing. If you need to erase. I like to add these here because I didn't add eyelashes up here, so I can do boop, 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 boop to there. I can add them here. They're honestly not as noticeable. This line is very squaggly, but I will stop trying to fix it. Yes, I will. So, like I said, same thing with, I mentioned with Pete. He doesn't have to have big eyes just because I made him wide and round. I can honestly give him eyes like that as long as I start here. Oh, you can also start here and kind of have it where he's looking down. You can have him start like here. Makes it look that way. Same goes with this way. You can really play with eye shape. The bigger that you make it, you can do that. It's hard to forget. You can do that. You can also do that. Like I said, it makes your character look like they've seen something they shouldn't have seen in life. So just use it as you will. And then you can also just do shoot, like that. I'm going to make his connect into a circle, put a dot, and put the white of the eye. Make the dot a little bigger. Make it a little bit. And then put the white of the eye here and here. And yeah, you can also, if you want to, add the eye fold up at the top. That just kind of, you can have it floating above it. You can have it going down into it. You can have it coming from off of it. You can have it doing this. It's so many different ways you can play with this line. You can do like that. I'm just going to have it floating above it. And I'm going to just give him some thin eyebrows. Or something like that. That tapers off at the end. So it's like it starts off this and just becomes like a line towards the end. Yeah. You'll see one eye is kind of bigger than the other. And that's because I skimped a little bit on his, yeah, like that. But I mean, honestly, I can go back and, oh man, here I go flipping it. Yes, flip the image. I kind of like this eye more than this eye. So now I went from almond shape to like downward turn, where I have the eye kind of go like this and then down. And you kind of get the downward character and you have it connect. You see? Whereas before with an almond shape, it kind of all went across that way and connected. With the downward turn, it goes up and then comes down. And that's cool too. There's a downward turn eye. So I'm going to go with downwards. I'm going to erase this just a little smidge quick. And here. I'll do an upturned eye as well. I think I have one in mind. I think it's CC. So, and I'm just going to erase this here. Yeah, there you go. Downward turn eye. Wasn't expecting that. So, let's move on to Frankie. Oh, okay. Frankie has the upturned eye slightly. So, for Frankie, I did the, what are they, like the Brazilian kind of nut? I think it's Brazilian. Where the line goes like this and like this. It's, you can have it going downward turn like that too. You can have it going upward turn more. Just know that the more you turn it, the more you're emphasizing ethnicity. So, you know, and I've seen many different ethno groups with these eyes. I think I even went so far as to give them like an epicanthic eye fold. I think I'm saying that right. And yeah, that also is, I've seen it with cheekbones. So it's like, yeah, if you wanted to, yeah, you can totally give them cheekbones to kind of make some bam. But I give them like here, so it kind of comes down. So, like I said, you can do the line going here, line going here. Bam. If you want to make them connect, you can add a layer here. You can do what I do, where you add like a little bit of an eyelash at the end. You don't have to. You can stop about there. And then for the eye fold, you can just have it coming from there. Kind of gives you a weighty feel here, like there's pressure coming down this way or something. You can do eyelash here and here. You don't have to put, I always say that. And, you know, you get eyes playing with like that. You can do that. You can do this. We're kind of looking over here and over here. I tend not to draw the line right here sometimes because it kind of looks off. I tend to leave it blank. I can put the line there for the eyeball. But let's have them looking forward. So, circle, oops, circle kind of thing. Let's put the dot here, close to there. Let's put the white of the eye here and here. And then let's give him some nice, I don't know what the term is called. He's got his eyebrows done. They're very nice eyebrows. So with that look, I literally just created like a box going this, like this line, this line, this line, and then I bring it down and down. And you know, you can kind of curve it down too. It's kind of easier with my right. There we go. You can do that. I kind of have his a bit more curved, so I kind of tend to do that with the eyebrow. And then line, line, line. So I'm just going to bring this one. Actually, I'm going to bring this one up. Like, what is you doing? Just going to make them slightly even. I know when I rotate, it's not even, but it's okay. All right, let's go to Calvin's eyes. Calvin's eyes are box shaped, particularly rectangular. Here, 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 and here. You can do it again. Here, here. Oops. Well, it's okay. Here and here. Dragon Ball Z eyeballs. Honestly. But you can erase here and here. You can erase these lines here and here. And like I showed you before, I have this part coming in. I have this coming in here. So I'm going to, because it kind of, this is like a shadowed area for coloring it in. And when I do color and skin tone, I'll show you how that looks. It's a bit uneven, but it's fine. I'm going to color in his eyebrows. Boop, 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 boop. Gonna do like a little, I don't even know what you would call that, but I'm gonna replicate the line that I did before. The corner of his eye. I'll lighten this line here. Because like I said, line weight bears emphasis. Lashes. So he definitely looks like he's judging your wardrobe, judging your game choice, judging your mane. And if I want to, I can actually do the eye fold there too. I love it though. It's always fun. I want him to look to the side. I don't normally draw it here, so I'll leave that side blank. Same for this. I don't normally draw that there. I'll do it for this video, so that actually came out okay. And don't have the whites of the eye, of course, go over the eyebrow because that makes no sense. So right there, light there. And for his eyebrows, I don't know what shape this is. Don't even begin to ask me. Kind of like that. And then line, 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 line. You can honestly make it connect if you want to. It's up to you. So same here. I kind of did the bridge kind of going sharp that way. I wanted to go this way. So it connects. And I have it here. Line, 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 line. Something like that. You can add the extra. Like that's the... Oh, I should have told you this indicative emotions. That'll be another video if you're interested. Expressions. That's loads of fun. I love just doodling randomly different expressions. So much fun. Love doing it every time. So, let's move down to the next row. Pearl. Once again, I decided to give her rounded features. So you could create kind of like that shape. Kind of like that shape. Where it connects if you want to. And go ahead and erase some parts. If you did a heavy line weight at the bottom of the eye. You see where I'm kind of leaving it instead of making it straight like I did for Calvin. I'm giving a bit of a curve. That's because I still want to keep the round, wide eye look. And just that curve accentuates it too. Instead of doing this, making it flat. I'm still keeping the roundness, the softness in the feature. And thickening the top row. Widening here. You can, if you want to, 2, 3. Just know that it's flick, flick. It's like a flick, 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 and you can like kind of go that way with it. You can make their lashes longer by doing that. Just make sure that you're not doing like this. You can do that. It doesn't look bad. When you get near the top, I'll say this for the lashes, you're going to kind of start making it go up and then just follow that way. You see how that works? And then you can go in and do like the smaller lashes. You can even add to the line weight. Do you know that the more that you add to the line, the more you emphasize, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to erase some of these. And I'm going to make them smaller lashes. Little clumped together a little bit. Like that. I'm going to add this line here. Like that, like that. So, yep. That's her eye. I can do the fold. I kind of don't want to. I'm going to have it where the bottom barely touches. And here and here. Give her pencil thin eyebrows. That's the term I was trying to think of. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Whew. And do it again here. Where it's like that. But instead of doing it that way this time, because I know how I want to do it, I'm going to lighten the bottom line, give a bit of a squiggle, erase the connection, add a top eyelash part. These characters, as I was creating them, reminded me of characters I had already created, and that's kind of how my mind works. I have over 100 characters that, between side characters, not all main characters, of course. Um, and that's not including the characters I've designed for my husband, for my friends, for their stories that I've also kind of put pieces of myself into. But this character reminds me of a lovely, muscular waifu. I came up with her. She's my original character. Her name is Evangela. And I put her in my husband's story to be a part of this supernatural hunters organization. They do much more than that. But she's a part of the sect called the Harbingers. And I'll save a bit of the Harbingers for when you see them in the story. But Evangela is sweet, kind, open. I wanted to have a Louisianan accent, that mix with like French, and that you hear it. I really was inspired by it, especially from True Blood and Princess and the Frog too. But I find that accent so amazing because I cannot imitate it for the life of me. And I wanted to give that to a character, so I gave that to Evangela Fontenot or Fontenot. Not sure exactly how to pronounce it. And she is very active. She is a powerhouse. I love powerhouse characters. Give me a waifu with muscles and I will just ogle them for days. Respectfully though. And yeah, so she reminded me of Evangela. And some of these characters remind me of the ones that I've already kind of created. I won't say who. You'll meet them in the story. These aren't those characters. They're just, I've drawn these things so many times now. So it's like, oh, look, this is a piece from so-and-so, from thus and thus. And I'm putting it on this new character. Like Layla reminds me of a character of a cute little, a sweet little high school girl I've created named Kimiko. I love Kimiko. Oh, she's not my character. She's a character of a friend's character that ended up in our universe. And they have given our blessings and we have run wild with her. So with Lila, not Kimiko, I want that same face. I want that same wide, round look. This looks a little creepy. So what I'm going to do is take concepts of this. I'm going to break here, erase here, thin the line here. I'm actually going to make this a bit more. There we go. And I do want the line to cut here. That way you get like this eager, like, oh, I can't wait kind of look because the bottom of her line is straight like that. So I also wanted to give her, I'm going to use a bit of the top line where I normally do for shadows. I'm going to cut it across like that and create long lashes there. Now you get this idea of a lid being here. And you can flatten it if you want to, if you don't like the way that looks. And then just kind of do that. And you can do that. But for me, I like to keep it there. And it just, like I said, the weight of the shadow there. I was about to call it ink. And it's just like, I mean, technically, but yes, the weight of the pen. I'm going to make the bottom lashes a bit longer than I made other people's. Because I've already decided that she's going to have like really long lashes. Come in with like sweep things. Make sure that the corners of the eyes, the lashes get a bit lower. They're not always the same all the way across. See how I make them lower the closer I get to her eye, inner eye. Gonna add the little bits right there. And just kind of make sure that one eye is slightly bigger than the other. Let me just kind of put there. Little detail. And I want to bring the eyes like this. I don't want to do the full circle. I want to give her a slight, like I mentioned before, little bit of a sleepy look. So it kind of cuts at the bottom. You don't have to. Once again, you can do that. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to give her a bit of the eye folds there. So a little bit of ethnicity behind those eye folds goes a long way. Sorry, I'm just kind of fixing that because I did want it to like gracefully do that. I decided to use lips for last because I feel like that's going to be the most exciting one to do. So forgive me for working on the eyes for a bit. We're near the end. I'll probably make we're near the end. Home stretch. Okay, yeah, that's Layla. Like I mentioned, do circles that way. I did the same thing for her nose, if you remember. So kind of keeping theme with that. And I just broke the lines up here and here. So, oh yeah, her eyebrows. I decided to give her just wisps for eyebrows. Slightly non-existing. When you're doing it, I like to say don't start. You can do this. It's a little tough for me doing it that way. But start from the bottom and just kind of flick up. It's like the same way that you did the lashes too. So, you know, that's a good thing. All right. So let's move to Frida. Oh, yes. Lila. I never mentioned Frida's thing. So, Frida, I gave definitely some of my favorite eyes. And you'll notice as I'm drawing here that I didn't give her pupils. Because hard lines loses some of the softness. With Frida, I gave her almond shape. And like I gave the bottom line a little bit of a hard one. Kind of tilts outwards some. And you're gonna you don't have to start the shadows here. I started hers back here. This is where I wanted the emphasis for her eyelashes to be. There. I can erase that and go up and back. And then do the line extra close and do that. It's fun. You can mix and match a lot of these ideas around too, just to get different types of eyes. I wanted it to look, we're gonna go for the unconnected look, do the dot, and do a dot. And then I'm gonna just kind of come over the white just a bit. You can do that there. I kind of gave it to her already, so we can have it coming like this and then going like that. Yeah. So almond shape. As you're loosen what I do because of the pen pressure, I can do this and then loosen my pen pressure to however I want it to be, push down, lift it up. So I can keep a continuous line going and then just loosen it at the end. And it gets me my desired effect. And then I just go over it again. So just a little fun tip right there. Get it? Tip, like the tip of a... Okay, I'm sorry. I've been doing this video for a while now. So get it in there. Do this and swish, 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 swish. You could turn the canvas if it's easier for you, more comfortable. Swish, swish, swish. Put the line close here. Go like that. Come this way. Go like that. Oops. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I can do it. Yeah. There we go. Haha. And then I'm just going to like draw the eyebrows right here where it's like a little bit like the end of it is a little bit thicker. And then just kind of flush it out that way. And then you can honestly come in with the pen and just destroy it, apparently. Just destroy it. Oh, okay. There, you can just do that. That's fine, too. This is why I'm not a stylist. Because I won't be able to control Z people's faces. Fun fact, I don't do my own eyebrows. I used to in the past because my sisters, they really like to, but it was uncomfortable for me, and I never saw anything wrong with my eyebrows. I didn't learn later that they were kind of thick until much later in life, but at this point, I don't like pain. And those plucking and even the, what is it called? The wax, it's very uncomfortable. I'm okay. And then it gets itchy. Nah, I'm all right. I'll just deal with my slightly thick eyebrows. I like them. I like them. That's another thing, too. They never bothered me. So I think there's no reason to change the things you like about yourself, even if everyone else is interested in it. I believe my sisters were interested. I think they still are. And I don't knock them for it. Their eyebrows look nice. They look cute. I love the styles. Just not me. So, slightly off-centered eyebrows, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea with the almond shape. They are a little off, too. If I were to rotate it, you can kind of see it. But those are all things you can fix post, whatever. Nope. Nope. Leave it alone. Next character. Cece. Cece's another character that I could have given her wide eyes, but I did a couple of wide eyes, so I'm going to do like a very thin line with a slight tilt, so an upward tilt. So for Cece, you can do very tight box shape like that. You can do very tight box shape. I wanted her eyes to show a bit more, so I decided that I want to widen it in the middle some, and then have it kind of like that. It's kind of looking at it now. Her eyes aren't, it's okay. So I'm going to erase the ends. Lighten the line. And as you can see, she has these gorgeous cheekbones. I really enjoy them. I could give cheekbones to all the characters, but I try to be careful with cheekbones because not everyone has cheekbones. I do not. So I'm going to give her where her eyebrows, eyelashes, do that. She doesn't really, you can just do one or two if you want to. You can do all of them if you want to. But I want to do, for CC, just a few at the ends. Have that harsh line and then making it like that. You see? So taking the eyelash, sweep, 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 sort of, kind of. I'm gonna forever be bothered how these are like, the eyes aren't symmetrical-ish. But faces aren't symmetrical, and that's okay. My ears are not symmetrical in real life. My glasses tilt, and it always bothers me because I go to fix them. And as my ears are just like, nope, that's just where we sit. And, you know, life's like that. No, not many people have asymmetrical symmetrical faces. The ones that do, people tend to call them gorgeous and godlike. I say uneery, a little creepy, because it's just not the norm. And, you know, that's just kind of me. That's just kind of me. So, I'm going to just give a little vavoom there. Bring it down here. You see where I have this? I will honestly move her eye up. I'm going to just use the crop tool. I could put her eyes up here if I wanted to kind of match that. Instead, I'll move them just about here, a little higher than where they were before. So I'm going to get rid of that layer. And, oh wait, how do I do eyebrows? Oh, okay, I gave her like slightly thicker eyebrows, so that's cool. So I can actually use that as a base. Oh, I should probably finish one thing. Well, whatever. I'm going to give her a nice solid block like that. Line, line, line. Like that or so. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I surprise myself sometimes. I like those. And then I'm going to kind of have her eyes here, 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 and here. Maybe like here, 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 here. Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. Here, 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 and here. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Here, let me just, I think this one needs to be just slightly. Does that make sense to people? Is it just me? The longer you make someone's eyes for emphasis, whatever your emphasis happens to be, just know that the less space you'll have between the face. So, you know, that thing I mentioned earlier in the very near beginning with Pete, that's just, that's just the thing that you can like follow. It's just a small guideline to follow. You don't have to do it. I'm going to do the eye fold a bit here and here. I like that one better, but I always tend to draw one eye I like, and then the other eye I'm just like, but I live with it, and eventually it becomes something that I can say it's not half bad. It's not so bad. Let's tilt this eyebrow slightly. It's gonna bug me, but oh yeah, and that's eyes. And oh jeez, okay, I thought that's eyes. So yeah, I'm gonna bring this all down some because it's gonna bother me forever. I want the cheekbones to be closer. Let's move to lips. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, now to the next part. Mouths. There's no wrong way to make a... Yes, there is a wrong way to make a mouth. And every racist black character in DBZ and many other animes and minstrels, there's a very wrong way to make a mouth. So, let's show the right way to make a mouth, since I want to call it out. I've already designed Pete's mouth, but for the sake of it, I'll go over it again. For the mouth, oh, okay, hold on, let me see if I can move my, okay, here we go, good. You can start with the line. Simple, right? You can put the edges for the creases, just to be like, oh, look, he's all happy. And then for the top lip, you can go up like that, squiggle, and down. Once again, you don't have to do it all in one stroke. You can do 1, 2, 3. Bam. If you like to do the little anime part with the mouth, that looks nice. You can do that. I would say that when you do it, taper the lines, because if you don't, you're gonna have just like that, and that looks a little strange. So, work with taper, kind of like that. And then for the bottom lip, you can do that. I'm gonna give him a slender mouth where it's kind of like the top, the hump, the cleft. Is it called the cleft of your lip? Cleft of your lip. Oh. A cleft lip happens when the tissue makes the lip doesn't join completely from birth. So what's that part about your lip that, I'm sorry, I've been using that wrong. Lip dip. Lip dip. Not lip dip. Lip dip. What is lip dipping? Oh. Well, okay, just the dip in the top part of your lip. Whatever. You can make it really deep. You can just make it like that. Over here, I did it in 3 parts, where it's here, here, here. Like I said, making gaps like that softens the lip. You can create the hard line there. You can do the little other dip in your lip. And here to here for a curved smile. And like that. You can also erase that right there. You can leave it where it has that. Or you can, if you don't want the lines to connect, kind of like I don't have that here, you can make the lines attached like that. You can make the bottom lip lines attach. It tends to look a little silly when you do. So I would say just kind of leave it open. Like that. Never, please, please do not. Because there are some artists, and I've seen them, and I respect their craft, but I've seen artists, black artists to this day, do that. Please don't. Don't. No. I'm going to change mine. No. Not only is it racist looking, but it's wrong. People's lips don't go over like that. That's not how lips work. People's lips, and you can look up for yourself studies, they tend to end right at the tip right there. They do not go over the mouth like that. They don't do that. So I'd say to be on the more, I mean, it looks better this way too. It honestly looks like you put some effort into it, and it looks like they look like actual lips when you do that. It looks better this way. So I give his bottom up a little bit more. You could even add like the little that there, just to kind of, you can even add that there, just to give it more detail, whether you want to or not. It's up to you. You could even go without doing the bottom lip. You can do like a line there. It's up to you. I like adding the details. I like this. So that's Pete's. Pete's dip is more bowl shape, and it's like I do that there once. There's a little part right there. Let's move over to Lawrence's lips. Lawrence's lips, I decided to have a wider, fuller bottom lip, and I gave him more of a dip here than I did with Pete. So let's go ahead and show it. Let's do his mouth line. I'm gonna have him connect like this. I'm going to draw this here. And then I'm going to start here at the ends. Kind of bring it up just to kind of show he's smiling. You can bring it down to show that he's unhappy. Make it a slant. You can even show that he's full or eating something in his mouth with that. Just know that, you know, you can play with it. You don't have to have him at all either. I'm going to go all the way to the end for his lip. All the way at the end. I'm not going around it. I'm going to the end of his lip. And I'm creating that, and then I'm doing it again. Like that. And going to the end. So see how I kind of made it that way? But I want his lip to be more like that and like that. There. Kind of get like these mountains or mounds or whatever. And then I'm just going to get the lines for the bottom lip come from the end. And voila. Again, here's a better way to show it, the way I did it. You don't have to put this, you know that. You know, you don't have to do that. I'm just gonna, here and here, go to the ends, like that. I want to show that just a bit, like about there. And then go like that. And you can have it. You don't have to have it all the way to the end. You see, I don't have it for him. I don't even have it connecting. You can disconnect it here. I'm giving the emphasis that he has wide lips with a full bottom lip. A lot of people like to give wide lips or full lips to like the loudmouth characters, but I hate that entirely. So I'm going to say that Lawrence here is meek, shy, sweet, funny. He's a goofy character, but he doesn't really come off as braggadocious or overly talkative. So there you go. Sticking it one to the people that kind of put those tropes out there. And you don't have to put the little mouth dip right there. You can just leave it like that. I mean, if you want to make it connect, you can. But I like it. I'm going to put it back. So yeah, not much to that one. I made these lips not as wide as I made these lips. Zoom in. You can honestly, if you're like, oh, I got it wrong. Okay, erase the ends. Grab your lasso tool. And bring it down. Da, 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 da. And then just go in and like curl it. Whatever direction you're particularly going. Just like I said, don't go over. Curl it. And do a little crease. Creases are nice. Erase, erase, erase. Alright. Frankie's lips. Frankie's lips are different. He doesn't have a dip like the other ones do. His mouth, top lip goes all the way over. And that's a style that you can do it. I've seen Steven Universe. I've seen cartoon styles do this time and time again for lips. I think it's fun. I'm going to give him slender lips with the little shape there. So he's smiling, crease, up and over, I'm gonna give us, no, I'll make it look like, I'll do this with this bottom lip. There. Instead of making it rounded, I've done that. It's different than what I did last time. This is a show that you don't have to do the little bowl shape. You don't have to make it look like that. You can do here, like that. You can even have that here. And then do the line. It doesn't have to be concave. That's just fun. Nope, convex. I'm always going to do it. It doesn't have to curve. You can do it straight. I would just suggest at the ends, put it in like that. Or something like this down here. That's always nice too. You don't have to put those there. You can put these here. This kind of shows that there's like a little bit of, it's detail. It's extra detail. You can even just slightly curve the ends. Just a smidge. Just to emphasize that his lip is full. I've seen a lot of anime characters where the mouth is like that. Or they have that there, and then they might have like poop, poop, poop. You know, where there's like an... And I've seen this too, where they do that, and it's just like, here's a shadow underneath or whatever for where the mouth is. Anime boy nose or something. And dot here. Now it's like a goatee underneath his mouth. Whatever. You can do the same thing here. You can honestly do the same thing where I'll show it with skin tones, how you can shade the underlip parts. Alright, let's go to Calvin. I gave Calvin big heart-shaped lips because he is a smoocher probably. I don't know. Or maybe he's not. I don't mean smoocher like in harassment sense. Just like he's a good kisser. I don't know. Let's do the smirk that I've been giving everybody. And this time I'm going to bring it wide, almost to the top of his nose. Like almost touching it. Do a little bit of a dip. It's not like that, and it's not like that. I'm doing that. And then come down. And I want it to go about, well, I don't do the other side to the end. So about there. And then I'm going to bring the line here. Just kind of like match that. And just deepen it. You can add that line there to make his lips look thicker. You can erase it, as I always say. And then, yeah. And, you know, like I drew it here, where you can do that. This. I can show you expressions with fuller lips. Because some people think that, oh, yes. Oh, you can even do this with the bottom mouth. You see how I kind of did that? You can actually have it where it's not completely rounded. And at the end, it kind of flattens just a bit. You can even have this line here. Just to kind of show that it's a lip. You know, see people where they do the mouth and like they'll do like an expression where the character is yelling. And then they'll do that. And it's like, yeah, no, when the mouth stretches, so do the lips because it's skin. Just so you know what you're looking at. Yeah. What you want to do is actually stretch the top lip. So you can keep the full look, but it's gonna stretch. And you're gonna kind of have it come about here. Like that. You see how that is? And I'm adding a bit of shadow there just to kind of help something or another. See? The bottom lip is going to stretch. It's not going to be as wide and full. I mean, it still is. But your character is exaggerating its features. Everything stretches. Everything stretches. So you're not going to have... More often than not, it's not going to be like that because it doesn't look exaggerated. But this does. And, you know, you can honestly, just to give it more of a stretch look, even give the dip Just kind of like get rid of the dip for like a second. Kind of like that. It's there. It's just the person's widening their mouth. Even for wider expressions, I'll show that later. But yeah, he's going to have full thick lips. And like I said, you don't have to do the full circle at the bottom. You can just kind of create like this shape and this shape. So yes, let's do Pearl. I did it where there was a character with a full top lip, full bottom lip, or, you know, somewhat average top lip and a full bottom lip. Let's do a thin top lip and a full bottom lip. And for Pearl, I'm going to just not give her the dip because she has thinner lips. I'm going to start it here, do the little mouth thing, and do that. Oh, yeah, you know what? This actually is almost like what I did for Frankie. So there's that. I'm going to kind of erase this line here. Just going to bring it this way. Like that. You could connect her lips. It looks a little... No, you can do it. Looks fine. And just for a close-up for how it looks. My crease. Here. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. You can do it in parts. Just like here. Take some practice to kind of make sure you get it straight. And then a little bowl at the bottom. Boop, 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 boop. Oops. I tend to sometimes give the girl like a slight parted. I give them to everybody, not just my female presented characters. But yeah, you know, that gives like a slight alert. I don't want to do it right now. This character can also get the line underneath. Kind of shows emphasis there. But yeah. So that's Pearl's. And here's Layla's. Layla's lips pretty much are even-ish. And when I say that, I mean that I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here. Start at two different ends. One's a little different than the other, but that's fine. And I'm going to start here, and kind of do that. Try to do that. Yeah, kind of like that. Ta-da! It's a little uneven. But this is what it looks like over here. Swish, flick. Here. You'll see these lips actually kind of drawn a lot of times for like the tattoo kisses that you'll see. You might see it with that there. They tend to, you see how it kind of like, yeah, you see how it does that at the end. Sorry, I kind of didn't do that. I was supposed to do that here and here. It curls. That's what I'm trying to say. Lips curl like that. So, you know, the more you practice it, the more you can do blah, 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 blah. You can even like curl the ends, except for it will kind of curl a different way. I tend to not do it because I don't like the results. See? Those lips are the ones you see doing the smoochy lips thing. When you see how I did here, where I did like the dip there and there. So you have like that. When you do that, you create like, oh, you know what? Let's show that with Frida. So I'm going to do kind of like I did with Pete, where I did things in parts. Swip here. Do the crease like I did with everyone else. Start all the way at the end. Go all the way to the other end. Yeah, and you kind of get like this little like, you know, like slightly pursed lips. Didn't do it too well here. But just kind of keep that shape. Kind of get like a cute pursed kind of cat lips here and like that. Oops. Yeah. Character can even talk like that too. If that's the character you want to make. So it's like, if you want to show like the teeth while they're talking. See, kind of like that. Or maybe they're saying like, no, we don't agree with this. You can actually bring the mouth down. You can even like do that. Create the lower lip. You're getting a slight like, you know, you couple them with the eyes and they're just like, no, I'm not cool with this or whatever. Like, what do you think you're doing? Yeah. Lips are really fun when it comes to showing expression or giving characters some depth. Okay, last character. Have you guys liked them so far? Who's your favorite? I'm gonna say Frida. She's my favorite so far. She's what I like in a character, what I like drawing. I love them all, so it's really hard to pick. But Frida, I really like drawing soft, sweet black characters because you don't see them too much. I have something to say on the cast picking for the Powerpuff Girls where Buttercup is picked. But you don't get to see soft, sweet black girls in the media, and that just breaks my heart because I know thousands of them. I know hundreds of them. And it just like they never get the proper representation for being, you know, fully melanated, just these gorgeous goddesses of like sweet dumplings. Sorry. Anyways. I completely 100% love characters that are sweet, opposite of me. Sweet, shy, soft-hearted, unkind, or whatnot. You know, and I want more black girl characters like that. I want more dark-skinned black girl characters like that. Period. And if I gotta make them, I'll make them. And if you make them, I'll love them. I will love them. I will draw them everywhere. I'll cry at them. Anyways, let's go with our last character, Cece. Cece, I wanted to give her full lips, full top lip though. So I put this here, and I wanted that to indicate just how full her lip is. Going out, doing a little bit of a dip, all the way to the end. Once again, not going over, like that. You can even do that if you want to. You can do that. And that just kind of shows here. Isn't this? I don't know what look this gives a character. I don't get to see this too often. I hope that the character is as kind-hearted as Frida or other little sweet characters. Or I hope they have a sharp tongue and they defend their sisters and friends with that tongue and never turn their ire on them, but to protect them. Who knows? Maybe they like to read books and they don't like to talk. You can even, if you want to, kind of like put the second dip there. Give it even more of a feel. You know, you can even connect it. I like to leave it open. So yes, that is a sample of how to draw black features. And for other characters of colors. Features for other characters of color. Hold on, I gotta figure out where here we go. Thank you so much to Pete, Lawrence, Frankie, Calvin, Pearl, Layla, Frida, and Cece. If you like any of these characters, let me know. And hey, what should be next? Should I do skin tone? Should I do hair types and colors? It's up to you guys. There's so many I can do. Should I just not do those yet and do the basics? I'd love to hear from you, and let me know if this helped you in any way, and let me know if my mindless rambling makes sense to any of y'all. If you need me to do extra detail with how I did some of these, with the nose, eyes, or lips, you want to make them separate videos, I'd love to hear. I just want to know, am I helping you? Does this help? Does this make sense? Because I just want to give back to the world that others have given to me, and I just want to make it all nice and neat in a nice organized list for you all to consume and create. Because in the end, I just want us to all to draw magic. So if you like this video and you can't wait for more content, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted to all new videos as soon as they drop. And like I said, draw magic.